The past couple years, I've been selling off parts of my collection. I've realized it's better to let someone else enjoy a figure than to just let it sit in a storage bin for years, never being used or enjoyed. While looking at my old AOE figures, I found I had multiple versions of the Dinobots, and I thought to myself, how many recolors of these Dinobot molds did Hasbro and Takara really make? This list will only be including mainline Dinobots, so no one-step changers, Legion class figures, etc. So let's start with the Hasbro Mainline figures in 2014. None of these Dinobots are in screen accurate colors. They all have bright, flashy colors to stand out on a shelf to get kids to buy them. This was back in 2014, which was now 11 years ago. And if every Dinobot was painted a screen accurate color, they would likely die a slow, shell-forming death. Wave 1 gave us Deluxe Scorn, Deluxe Slug, Voyager Grimlock, and Leader Class Grimlock. Let's start with what many considered the star of Wave 1, Scorn. I no longer have this figure, but I loved it as a kid. The cool tail arm is reminiscent to Beast Wars Megatron. It could have benefited from some articulation, but it was still pretty cool. The figure had an awesome knight design and a really cool Spinosaurus mode. He was a good deluxe and a fun figure, but he wasn't entirely screen accurate. In fact, he wasn't screen accurate at all. Scorn was not bright red in the movie, but aside from his colors, his head wasn't accurate. He had 3 spines, not just one, and he should have been a size that rivaled Grimlock. Next was Slug. I think this was the time Slug received his name change. I remember fans being pretty upset initially, but this figure was okay. He had a lot of soft plastic, something pretty much all the Dinobots got, unfortunately. He had a cool purple color scheme, but this figure was never quite as fun as I found Scorn to be. Also, some of the soft plastic did not stand the test of time. One of Slug's swords tore at the handle, so now he can only hold the handle of his sword. In Wave 1, we ended up getting 2 Grimlocks, a Leader and a Voyager. Both received a unique copper color. The Voyager scaled better with the rest of the Dinobots, and the Leader scaled better with really nothing because Grimlock was huge in the movies, and even Leader class wasn't big enough to scale with the rest of your Autobots. The Voyager has a bit of a squished look in Dino mode, but the Leader had a very long body in Dino mode, so neither one of them were very accurate. Interestingly, the Voyager didn't have any soft plastic, whereas the Leader had a good amount of soft plastic in it. The Leader did end up having less copper and more chrome, something Hasbro decided to do with the Leader class figures in 2014. You either loved it or hate it. Initial pictures of Grimlock didn't have chrome. I remember the leaked pictures that came out showed him being fully copper, meaning the chrome was a later change. Wave 2 gave us 2 more Dinobots, Strafe and Slash. I really liked Strafe. He was probably my second favorite live-action Dinobot figure. He had a cool Dino mode with a fairly large wingspan, multiple weapons, a nice blue deco, and the only soft plastic used was in his tail. Slash was the first Dinobot that got a figure, even though he didn't appear in the film. Concept art shows that there were plans to have a bunch of Slashes running around. He was planned to be in the movie long enough to get a toy, and he might be my least favorite Dinobot. His colors are extremely bright and interesting, but the soft plastic on his knees was a poor design choice. The one spike on his knee fell off on my copy not long after I got him. He does have a cool looking Dino mode, I just was never a fan of his robot mode. Wave 3 gave us the last 2 Dinobots, Deluxe Class Snarl and Voyager Class Slog. Of course, Hasbro released these 2 Dinobots so they could release the Dinobots and G1 Decos. As far as I know, these 2 Dinobots were never going to be in the movie. Maybe very early on, but that got scrapped pretty early, even before Slash. Snarl's Deluxe was okay. I remember my copy was pretty loose and flimsy. I liked both of his modes and his axe, and I don't think he featured much soft plastic, which was a plus. Slog, formerly known as Sludge, was my favorite Dinobot, so I was happy he received a Voyager class figure. He was the only gray Dinobot with some touches of red. Of course, the Dinobot that wasn't in the movie got the most movie-accurate paint scheme of them all. I wanted to like Slog a lot more than I did, but I remember him being kind of hard to pose and underwhelming to me. Takara also released versions of these Dinobots. This was back when Takara released figures in different decos than Hasbro. I wish we still got this today, but they had to cut costs. Takara didn't go on a screen-accurate route either. They used virtually the same colors as Hasbro, just with a metallic paint. These figures were part of the movie Advanced toy line. AD03 was Voyager Grimlock with a metallic copper, AD05 was Scorn, AD07 was Slug, AD24 was Strafe, 25 was Slash, 28 was Snarl, and 29 was Slog. Like I said, most of these figures had the same color schemes as their Hasbro counterparts, just with metallic paint. The figure with the biggest difference was Leader Class Grimlock. This Grimlock was 80/20 Black Knight Grimlock. Where Hasbro's Grimlock was mostly copper with chrome, this figure was mostly silver with some copper and chrome. This gives it a more accurate color scheme compared to its Hasbro counterpart. But there were also exclusive repaints of the Dinobots. Toys R Us got Evolution 2 packs. These featured some cool retro-ish packaging, which included the mainline Dinobot with a mini G1 version the Dinobot was based on. Slug was the same mainline Hasbro retail figure, but came packed with Dark of the Moon Minicon Triceradon. Strafe was an unchanged version of the mainline figure again, this time came packed with Dark of the Moon Minicon Rav. And the Minicon he came with wasn't named Swoop, it was named Strafe, and the box used G1 Strafe's art, not G1 Swoop's art. The Grimlock pack came with Voyager Grimlock, who received a changed deco unlike the other two. As for Walmart exclusives, Walmart released a bunch of Legion class figures as Dinobots and repainted a bunch of older dinosaur figures as the live action Dinobots, but I won't be talking about those here. The only mainline Dinobot exclusive Walmart got was Bumblebee with Dinobot Strafe versus Stinger. Strafe was the exact same as his mainline deluxe, but he was packed with a repainted version of the Legends Revenge of the Fallen Bumblebee and a Transformers Prime Legion class knockout repainted as Stinger. The first G1 inspired movie Dinobot repaint I'm going to be talking about was the Amazon exclusive Slog, who turned out to be number 18 of 30 in Thrilling 30, oddly enough. Thrilling 30s was kind of a mess looking back. We also got a Platinum Edition line in 2014. The first set was Optimus Prime and Grimlock. This set used the Voyager Grimlock once again, but changed his deco and gave him a chrome dino head. The Optimus Prime was an Evasion Optimus, but with some chrome parts. The next set was Leader Class Grimlock and Leader Class Optimus Prime. I owned this set back in the day, and this was the easiest way I could get a close to movie accurate Grimlock. I still really like this deco and the colors it uses, and the Optimus also looks pretty good with his darker colors and chrome head. The next pack was the Dinobots Unleashed 5-pack. This included Scorn, Strafe, Slog, Slug, and Voyager Grimlock. These Dinobots had dark, almost ghost-like decos. I didn't even know this set existed until I was researching this video, and they look a bit more accurate than the Vibrant mainline releases, but you could also use this set as like a Nemesis Dinobot set to fight your Power Rangers colored mainline Dinobots. 1 year after these Platinum Edition sets released, we got another Platinum Edition Dinobot set. This set was simply named Dinobots. Just Dinobot. This set featured Voyager Grimlock with Slug, Strafe, Snarl, Slog, all in a G1 inspired deco. And this Slog is in fact different than the Amazon exclusive mentioned earlier. The Amazon exclusive has chrome on parts of its thighs, and this release does not. The final Hasbro exclusive was the Hasbro Toy Shop / SDCC 2014 set. This pack was once again Voyager Grimlock alongside Snarl, Slug, and Strafe, all in their G1 decos. The decos on these figures differ slightly from the Dinobots 5-pack I just mentioned. Another difference is the box unfolds to become the G1 arc. It's a really cool idea, but I remember hearing people say that if you try and place a Dinobot on one of the top levels, the box kind of just collapses in on itself. Cool in display, but not very good for play. Also, imagine spending the money for this set and the Amazon exclusive Slog to get G1 accurate movie Dinobots, only for Hasbro to release a 5-pack of them all in G1 accurate colors 1 year later. Gotta be kind of insulting. That might be it for Hasbro exclusives, but Takara had their own exclusive repaints. Takara released Black Knight decos of Scorn, Strafe, and Slug. I have to admit, these look pretty good. They look like evil versions of the Dinobots and cool Nemesis colors. Takara also released a G1 inspired Slug and a G1 colored Voyager Grimlock. These were both eventually sold at Lost and convenience stores in Japan. And that's it for the G1 decos, thankfully. We also got a Nemesis Grimlock, once again using the Voyager Grimlock mold. It's pretty cool, it reminds me of Shattered Glass Grimlock or Trypticon. And in 2017, Takara released what is, in my opinion, the definitive versions of the Voyager Grimlock and Deluxe Strafe mold. This was in the Movie the Best toy line. These are Dinoride Grimlock and Optimus Prime, and Dinoride Strafe and Bumblebee. Both figures have extremely movie-accurate decos that look like pure eye candy. They even include miniature versions of Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. I wish I picked these up when they were new. That marks the end of mainline and exclusive Dinobot figures. Until the last night release. In 2017, Takara is no longer releasing the same figures but with different decos. Both Takara and Hasbro are releasing the exact same figures. The first wave of the last night's Premier Edition toy line gave us Deluxe Slash and once again that Voyager Grimlock. Even though Slash didn't appear in Age of Extinction or The Last Night, he got a mainline toy in both movies. This time, his eye-burning colors were dialed back to a silver and light blue. I'm not sure if Slash was ever planned to be in The Last Knight. I think there may have been some confusion with the baby Dinobots. Maybe they thought the baby Grimlock was going to be Slash. Who knows? The Last Knight is a mess of a film. I don't think the producers even knew what was going on half the time. We also got another repaint of Voyager Grimlock, this time in black and silver. Wave 2 gave us Slug in a gray, blue, gold deco, and Wave 3 gave us Strafe in a light blue and silver deco. Oh, and it also gave us a new Scorn that was a phenomenal figure and blew all of these repaints out of the water. Scorn wasn't even in The Last Knight, but he got the best Dinobot figure in the wave. But I'm not here to talk about new figures, just the repaints of the original Dinobot molds. These new repaints gave the Dinobots more unison colors, while still not being movie accurate. They looked closer to how the Dinobots looked on screen, and they were more accurate than what we got in 2014. We even got one exclusive in 2017, and that was Universal Studios exclusive Snarl. This time, Snarl had a gray deco to match the rest of the TLK Dinobots. Everyone ended up getting a repaint in TLK except for Slog. We still have 3 more repaints to cover. The first one is Lucky Draw Scorn. This released in 2014 through a special midnight launch of the Transformers Age of Extinction toys in Taiwan, at Taiwan and Malaysian Toys R Us's. If you spent enough money, a random Chrome Deluxe was given away, and it was limited to only 24 pieces. We also got Lucky Draw Slug, who was released just like Lucky Draw Scorn. This Slug was a fully chromed version of the deluxe figure that you could get if you spent enough money at the Taiwan or Malaysian Toys R Us store during the Age of Extinction launch event. This was also limited to 24 pieces and is an extremely rare figure. Finally, the most bizarre and crazy figure I didn't even know existed until I started researching this video. This gold Leader Class Grimlock was given away by Toys R Us Philippines. To win this toy, you had to be the largest spender at the launch event. This figure is extremely rare and definitely the rarest figure on this list. I could hardly even find a photo of it. That brings the total number of Voyager Grimlocks to 11. All of these Grimlocks would be outclassed in 2018 with the release of Studio Series Grimlock. That figure is gorgeous and extremely screen accurate. And right when I thought this video was done, Hasbro just revealed the 2026 Titan class figure, and it is none other than Age of Extinction Grimlock. I was betting that the next Titan was going to be a Studio Series 86 Unicron, but I was so very wrong, and I'm so happy we're getting this. There's even photos of the Studio Series Optimus Prime riding the Titan class Grimlock, and it looks perfect. I don't know if it's perfect scale, but it's pretty close, and I can't believe we're getting this. So just when I thought Studio Series Leader Class Grimlock was going to be the peak figure, they go and they give us a Titan class figure that's coming soon. And not only did they say that they're doing this Grimlock, they want to do all 4 Age of Extinction Dinobots in this scale. So whether that means they're all going to be Titans, I don't know. Scorn has to be a Titan. Slug and Strafe, I think they could get away with at a Commander scale. But either way, this is some insane news, and I didn't need, this is just a coincidence. I wanted to make this video, and I was going to say it sucks that we're not going to get any more movie Dinobots in the Studio Series, but I was so wrong, and I'm eating my words. Titan class Grimlock is going to be amazing, and bring on the rest of the Dinobots.